Hello, travelers. Let me get myself in here. Yes, I know I look a hot mess, but it's okay. It has been a while since you guys have heard from me. My mom arrived about a week and a half ago from Washington State, so she's here for the holidays. She'll be staying through to the first of the year. And so that kind of took me out of contention in terms of doing work. But it actually is better because I'm really able to get a few things done here in the house because I've got that assistance to help me. So I've been doing things like painting my curtain rod dowels, getting my curtains up, fixing up my dining room. So I've been able to get some things done, and that really I'm still working on this office, you guys. I just can't seem to figure out what to do in this particular room, and it kind of makes me nuts. I don't know, that old saying, cluttered environment, cluttered mind. And so it's I've got my space carved out here that's kind of free and clear, but I really, really need to get the rest of it in place. And so that is why, you guys, I think it's been, what, a couple of weeks perhaps since you've heard from me. And I was doing the, what do you call it, the pay what you want. And I want to thank all of you who participated in the 2019 pay what you want. And it's always really, I've heard from some of you that I haven't heard from in quite a long time. And so that's always really, really good. And then I had some new people who joined on for that. And it was such a pleasure to do the phone readings with you and actually speak to you and hear your voices and, be able to answer your questions live. And so, that's something that I do every year around November. I may move it up for 2020. I'm not exactly sure in terms of either moving it to October or moving it up earlier in the year. I'm sorry, earlier in the month of November, but that remains to be seen at this particular point. So I'm going to be coming to you today with a short open reading. This is the second open reading for November, and it will also be the last. I will be starting work. I have some surgery coming up on the 5th. Everything's okay. It's not really surgery. It's just a routine procedure. On December 5th, I do believe. So I'm going to be out perhaps a couple of days after that. But I am going to be working on the December readings for the website. I completely missed some articles that I wanted to bring you guys. But as I say, it's the holidays and my mom's here and I'm trying to get some things situated because, before you know it, the first of the year is going to be here. So it's a short time. So with that being said, we're going to be using the, what do you call it? The Radiant White deck. I'm hoping to pick up a couple of decks, new decks here in a few days. And so we'll just see how that goes. I'm shopping for some new decks. And so we also have the La Vida Sibila, and we have the Conjure cards. I'm not exactly sure what I'll be using to wrap up the reading, but we shall see what the cards have to say. I'm going to post a new quick article, an introduction to the La Vida Sibilas. And that will be cross-posted over on Twitter and also on Tumblr. So if you'd like to get it in short burst, you can get that information from Twitter or Tumblr. And I think you can find the links to both of those profiles in the About box section of my channel. So, are we ready? If you're interested. Here we go. 9 cards down. The Queen of Swords, the Two of Pentacles. I think we just had a new moon in Sagittarius. It may have been a full moon in Sagittarius a few days back. The Devil. So this is a financial kind of a thing for someone out there. the Four of Swords. Oh, wow. The Ten of Pentacles. Wow, that's interesting. The Page of Wands. The Eight of Swords. That's interesting as well. The Hermit. And then there is the Three of Swords. Three, two, three, 4, 8, 9, 10. 2 court cards, 2 major arcana cards, 1, 2, 3, 4 swords, 2 pentacles, and a wand. There are no cup cards here. What is under the deck? The Queen of Pentacles. This is over the, I think this goes back to this idea of what I was saying about it being some kind of financial issue or career issue. Let's put it that way. 4, 2, 3. That's a sword, one sword, like the ace over here. She's holding this Queen of Swords. It's holding the ace. Now, basically, this Two of Pentacles here, past, present, future, past, present, future, and the interplay of the cards. I think this is what I'm being given is that this is a situation in which there are not only finances involved, but there's some serious thought or perhaps planning or strategic moves or what do you call it? Not necessarily negotiations, but the thought that there's something else out there. But the twos represent a choice, right? Choose. Twos represent choices, options, decisions, oppositions, being at a crossroads, a fork, two paths. For some of you, this is the idea that maybe you've been upholding two energies, or maybe you're not only the finance person, but you're also the ideas person. You've been juggling those two things in a way that's perhaps, I don't sense that this Devil card is about the energy of being chained to something, but at the same time, yes. If this is about you being in your own business, starting out on your own, where maybe you've got to do all of those things at one time. So you do chain yourself to this particular idea or this project, but it's not necessarily a karmic or a bad thing, because in order to receive the riches of the devil, so to speak, this represents our physical environment, that third dimensional aspect. Clothes, shoes, money, travel, jewelry, sex, drinking, all of those things that you have to work, you have to slave away, you have to toil away, you have to commit yourself to something, right? In order to get those particular things that you want, no matter what it is. And so I don't necessarily see that as, what do you call it? As a negative. Not really. I just get the sense that perhaps this is going to require not a reboot, but a rethinking. In a way, it almost kind of speaks to, you sent out something, this idea, you put something out. But one of these things, and I do think it's two things, does not come to fruition for you. And, that old saying, well, that could be a blessing in disguise, so to speak. Oh, where's my thing? So there's at least perhaps two people involved in this particular situation. We have the two people chained to the devil here. Right in the center, we have this Ten of Pentacles, and the Ten of Pentacles is that idea of, let's say, inheritances, or a family business, or family property, something in which inherently everyone connected together in this quote unquote family situation has some gain or some power or some influence or some profit and or prosperity. Sometimes this card will show up when it speaks about being at a particular company or at a particular job for a long length of time. It implies that the people know each other, that everybody understands their role, everybody pulls together, and we can all, get this done. It is this Hermit card here, of this moment where things feel, well, from the 2 to the 2 to the 8, if I'm subtracting, that gives me 8 pentacles. So this tells me that this is something that's been worked on for a long time. That's what the Devil card now is coming out. Perhaps for some of you, you have not seen the kind of gains or rewards or whatever. You kind of feel stuck in this situation. And I do feel that the Hermit card is telling you that you're going to need to take a break, because I just think there's some kind of disappointment on the back end of this. And I'm just not exactly sure what that's about. Let's go to the, it's some kind of message or news associated with this that doesn't quite, but sometimes I've seen this Three of Swords. Well, yeah. This Three of Swords can sometimes be the idea that if you've been waiting on a message to come in, it is going to come in. However, it may not either come the way that you like, or the contents of the message may not be exactly what you're expecting. So let's take a look to see what we can see here. Let me get out of this. As to how the Two of Coins, Four of Swords, 10 of Pentacles, 8 of Swords, 3 of Swords, what the meaning is compared to with these two major arcana cards. So let's start off. There are no cups here, so this is not necessarily, I think, a highly emotional issue. It is simply, it looks like there's a conflict or a stagnation between what you've been doing and what you think you should be doing, or what you think you'd like to do. Does that make any sense? I hope it does. So let's take a look at what the Two of Pentacles can tell us here. Because also the Devil just means, you got to do the hard work. Roll up those sleeves and just do the hard work. Okay, it tells me nothing next to this Devil card, the Two of Pentacles. It tells me absolutely nothing. Sometimes it says it encourages you to keep up your stamina, as you will be needing some extra energy soon enough. If events or situations have not progressed as planned, the Two of Pentacles is indicating that in quick time, circumstances will turn around. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to turn around in your favor, or in an extremely positive manner. It's just telling you that it's going to turn around. So let's take a look at this Four of Swords to see what we might be able to see. Of course, I'm going to pull clarifiers on this, because sometimes this Devil card can be the idea of someone maintaining or trying to exert control or manipulate a situation for their gain. So we shall take a look at that. Four of Swords. Nothing about the Four of Swords. Ten of Pentacles. Oh, by the way, I have got to get this situated for myself. I keep saying that. I've been saying that for what, about 2 years now? Never do it. The Ten of Pentacles. Nothing about the Ten of Pentacles. The Eight of Swords. There's a lot of swords here. It's a lot of air energy. And I don't know if this is due to planetary configuration of Mercury being retrograde, or just ideas. Maybe you have been, your mind's felt muddled. Maybe you haven't been able to think clearly or communicate clearly at this particular point in time. Maybe you're having a bit of difficulty. Maybe this is some fear on your part. Nothing about the Eight of Swords. So let's take a look at the Three of Swords. This is medical condition. Sometimes this is the card of healing and rest. Maybe this is you've been overworking yourself, you know? I mean, it depends on where you are. Nothing about the Three of Swords. Wow. This is definitely some kind of message. After taking a break, this idea of being mentally stuck in a situation or not, quote unquote, seeing your way out. That's where you were. That's where some of you may be at this particular point. This is where some of you perhaps are at this moment. Do I or don't I? Should I or shouldn't I? See that all is see. This is also about keeping all of those balls in the air and doing it. Well, let's go. You know, the first card that leaps out at me is this Four of Swords. Because the Eight can be that idea of either you feeling as though the terms and conditions or the situation is very, very uncomfortable. But sometimes that Eight of Swords can be the idea of you being in the situation that you're in due to your lack of effort, maybe, perhaps. But that really your mind is free to think whatever. And only you control those thoughts. But if the situation is not as dire or bad as you think it is. Fortuna. Riunione. And the Viaggio. Reads to me like this is about this sudden change, this sudden opportunity, or some possibility of some luck having come in for you, either through a meeting with someone and a trip, or this could be about a job interview. Okay? Most definitely. That's why I say, just read this. So this is something you've been working on for quite some time. That Four of Swords is that moment of rest and pause, and having the ability here to kind of, what's the word? Have enough for everybody to go around. Does that make any sense? I just get the sense that some of you are waiting on something, but I'm just having a difficulty determining what that is. I want to look at this Three of Swords. The Il Namica. I'm sorry, La Namica. Diardro. Isn't that something? And the La Namica. I mean, the La Mica. So, two different women. So maybe this is it. Maybe this is the idea that you've gone into partnership or business with someone, or maybe you've been in business with a business partner for a long time, and something occurs where there's somebody who acts in secret that is actually stealing money or goods and services from you. It's this La Mica. This, I think, is also a warning that something's about to come. It's kind of cloaked in the clouds of this Three of I'm going to look at that again. There's something that card's telling me. One second. There's something I'm not getting. There's something I am not seeing. Right. She presents herself twice. That's the Queen of Swords. Well, I don't know why I didn't see that. See, she's holding the knife. So what I say, sometimes I've been using these La Vida Sibila for quite some time, and sometimes no matter what cards I'm using, there's always something new that I learn about the cards, something that has never occurred to me before. That is the joy of reading cards. They continually, no matter how long you read, they are continually teaching you something new. Well, Eight of Swords, the Melancholia, the Ammalato, and the Vecchia Signora. This is the two, like the Two of Spades. So again, this idea that there's something about this eight here, as if to say, hold up. You know that something's not right. You can't put your finger on it. There's this sense of perhaps maybe malaise, depression. The Vecchia Signora typically can be that idea of a old relative, like an aunt or a grandmother. But because to me it's the Two of Spades, there's that uncertainty about whatever this thing is or who the person is. Well. Again, there are no cups here. No cups have come out. Let's take a look. Really? Let's take a look. I thought I turned that down. Let's take a look at what this devil card is telling us. I swear it's like somebody got a hold of my number and now they've sold it, and I'm getting all of these weird robocalls. The falsità, the lies and the hidden intentions. The militare. So either this is respect for law or um, encounter with law enforcement. So I don't know if this is either a legal issue, maybe even the police are called, but we see this theft here. Look, there's a friend here, or someone that you think is a friend. That person may be coming. You may meet this person out someplace. That person, I think, is known to you. This person is not what they appear to be. Not. They are not. Because this is almost repeated. A person of concealed hate who acts in secret. Here is the yardro. Here is the militare, theft, and then the police. Here is the l'amica, and then there is the fedeltà, the friendship. So somebody is not who they appear to be. Now, I don't know if it is this Queen of Swords, and that's what it looks like. So this reading could be for this Queen of Pentacles. This is what's over the reading. But then it could be reversed as well. Let me pull some conjure cards on this to see. I think this Hermit is telling you to kind of stop. It's asking you to take a look at why you are in the situation that you think you're in. Look very closely, because all is not what it appears to be. Now, there's still no, what do you call it? No cups have come out except for this one, and that's like the 9 of Cups. You know, I don't know. Let's see what this is all about with the conjure cards. 5 of Clubs. 5 of Spades. And the 4 of Hearts. Isn't that something? This looks like some kind of argument or dispute between two friends. But there's a financial and or work component over this. This could be the idea that you've been working with a close friend for a long time and you find out that they've been literally stealing from you in some way, shape, or form. Seven of Diamonds. There's finances again. There's the 2 of Hearts. Wow. And then there's the 10 of Spades. So then the question becomes, what is the message? And what is it all about? Let's take a look. Again, it speaks to some kind of betrayal from a friend or concerning a friend. It's really what this reads like. Isn't that interesting? Well, let's see. Look, the letter. The sospiri, waiting for the ship to come in. The sign, the longing, the waiting. Huh. And the donna di servizio. Again, as if the cards are saying, don't make a move yet. and focus on why you are in the situation you are in, because I do think it's all going to become clear to you. However, if you've been, I think this is the idea that if something hasn't been going right and you haven't been able to get your finger on what it is, it's because it's somebody working behind the scenes. You've been waiting on that news. You get it. You get the news, but then you're not exactly sure what to do with it or why it is. Let's see. A message waiting for a letter. Donna de Servicio, it helps. The Donna de Servicio helps. She runs errands. She does things for you. Six of Clubs. Nine of Hearts. And the Six of Spades. The cards are, it's a circular story. They're telling the same story. This is this. Yeah? What is the Qs? I can never remember what the Qs are. They're not the spades. Hold on. They're the diamonds. All right, finances. So again, I want you to be cautious because it appears that there is a thief and or a snake in your midst. Let's read the cards. And there's two sixes here. There's two sixes, there's two fives. Hold on, let's take a look at this. This is quite an unexpected message. There's some kind of change for you in terms of a job or an interview, and something that may give you the opportunity to increase your standing, your position, your finances. We're going to start here with the Five of. It says that conflicts need to be dealt with swiftly. It says do not stew in the situation and take care of business. Consider all the possibilities before jumping in with both feet. Think before you leap. This can indicate new alliances and friendships, but there will be conflict. We see it right here with the Five of Spades. Stop trying to prove you know what's best. It says be flexible and listen so that you can see the whole picture as the answer is right in front of you. It can also indicate a temporary setback, opposition, or delay, but can also be viewed as a blessing in disguise. That's what I just said to you. That's what I just said to you. With the Four of Hearts, it says change is coming, so be open to it. It speaks to postponement, delays. It speaks to a change in your home or business. It also speaks to travel with changes in the home or business. There it is. There it is. But there's someone actively working against you. Maybe that person hasn't reared their head yet. Lies and gossip, arguments concerning finances or on the job, but generally expected to end favorably. Well, yeah, we see that there is some kind of support and care for the individual, but that's not going to last. It can't. Something is about to change. Prosperity and success. It also says give careful thought about changing jobs. That's what it says. And it says that if it is next to a spade, this is a road opener. Yeah, I think you're going to have to cut somebody loose. For sure. It's kind of like that, you know, from what is it, Finding Nemo, and they're about to go through the trench, and Marlin is talking about, you know, how some fish are delay fish. This is before they go in the trench. They're about to go on, start the journey. And he's like, you know, some fish are just delay fish. So it's one of those things. I don't know necessarily if the person is intentionally doing this. I think for some of you, the answer is yes. But also the person, it may be just the person's not the right fit for this position. It says that someone is at their personal low. They have losses and troubles and family problems. Um, it can indicate worry, bad news, illness and accident, bad luck. It also speaks to being jinxed and crossed. It's telling you to slow down. Stop moving too fast. Now these two cards here, hold on, are quite interesting. The Six of Clubs. Victory and all problems are being moved out of your way. Consider all the, you will have success, as now is the time to step forward and follow your dreams. Victory is yours. It speaks to financial aid and success. Well, we see you waiting for your ship to come in. Something comes in for you. Indeed, it does. But it looks as though there's going to be a problem with someone. The Nine of Hearts, this is the wish card. No matter what deck you are, it's an important card that shows good fortune on the way after a difficult financial time. And here's the Six of Spades. It says that help is on the way. Well, we see it. Look at that. That's what she does. She's a helper. Help is on the way. You will receive help in solving the problems and issues facing you. The storms have lifted. It speaks to love, prosperity, and happiness, and can sometimes indicate small changes and improvements. So I don't get what this is. That's what I don't get. I don't get what this is all about. Five speak to disappointments. There it is. Sixes speaks to contradictions and blocks. There it is. Now I want to take a quick look at, let me find my, and then we're going to close this down with a psychic oracle tarot. I think this is really what we need to close it down with. Now let's see. The pair of signs, five, speak to a peak in creative energy that success and awards are sure to follow. This could just be some kind of hater that at the end, after everything's done, what maybe you thought you were going to get that support or those accolades or whatever, but somebody's hating on you. That's really what this looks like. The pair of sixes, whenever it's sixes, speak to crucial decisions about sharing and pairing in personal and business life. It's almost as though just as though someone's not on board, or what you thought was going to, someone was going to be happy about, they're not. But to me, that indicates some kind of jealousy of some sort. It's just so bizarre how those three cards came out. Hold on one second. The F's. Yeah, that's exactly what that says. I just think the person hasn't reared their head yet, even though you know who this is. It's almost like I said, it's like a stab in the back, so to speak. That's even what the Ten of Spades is talking about. Let's pull and see what the Oracle cards. But something is changing, okay? And I think nevertheless, this is going to be a time when you're going to have to make a real decision. I don't think it will be an easy decision about what you should do, but I think you know deep down what you should do in this situation. Accelerated motion. This is the Eight of Wands. And it says, this card represents speed, flight, swift movement, hope, passion, and above all, endings to delays. The conditions around you are perfect and appear to be rapidly heading in the direction of your goals and desires. Luck is on your side, and your enthusiasm is at an all-time high. Brace yourself as you finally witness the manifestation of what you worked for and visualized. This is a call for initiative, but you should also ask yourself, is there anything else in my life that I need to act on now? Remember, that's what the cards is telling you. Don't stew in the situation. Act quickly and swiftly. Be wise and take advantage of these ideal conditions. Now isn't the time for you to fight against the river of life. Trust, have faith, and go with the flow. This strong current is taking you to a positive outcome and future. And as I always say, you know, life is a series of ups and downs. And sometimes you come to a place in life where when you are about to take a new path, you're going to have to leave some people and some things behind. Now, of course, fear and guilt and whatever else can kind of deter you from that. And of course, the choice is yours. But this looks as though it's something that, as I said at the very beginning, that you've been working for. You've been planning on. Maybe you had to take a break or something for a little while. But it's like the moment that the news comes in, an enemy pops up. And so you want to be careful about that, and you want to be careful about the energy that you're expending and maybe perhaps in dealing with this person. Sometimes the best way to deal with an enemy is to simply, I don't know, avoid them, brush them to the side. Above all else, think of yourself first, right? Sometimes people just in situations will come in like that test, that moment, the last minute. Do you really want this or do you not really want it? And so people can create distractions. They can kick up a lot of dust and drama, right, to distract you from whatever it is you're trying to do. So I do ask that you be careful, that you think about this. It looks not necessarily like a perilous kind of time. It just looks like a time fraught with some perhaps petty jealousies and distractions. And so this card could also be goes back to, you know, that saying, take care of yourself, because you're going to need that extra energy. It looks like somebody's going to crop up, you know, at the last minute to try to throw a wrench in your plans. And that's what I think. Maybe you wanted to include them in whatever this was, but they're not willing to come along. Some people don't like, you know, that's it. Some people don't like to see other people get ahead. And I think that's particularly true a lot of times for women. Can become very catty and very petty and very jealous, when we really should all be lifting each other up. We're a sisterhood, you know, and we should always try to celebrate those successes. When one woman makes it in a way that opens a door for another one to come through, and we should not try to block those avenues for other women. So that's what I have for you. I do hope those messages help, and until next time, namaste.